Alright, gonna do some fluid changes real quick on the SicMonte. Primarily doing a T56 fluid change and some power steering. Alright, as before, that's the fill hole right there on the driver's side of the trans. And that right there is the drain hole. This is a drain. This handy little gadget here. Just a pump that you put in your quart bottles, and it pumps it out into like your rear end or differential, whatever you want. Pump, but since I have no interior, I'm going to go ahead and put a funnel with a tube right through the floor, right into the fill hole here. So this is what I'm going to use. It's just a 1/2-inch PVC tubing from Ace Hardware, and a funnel. It looks like a beer bong, but it's not. It's a trans bong. Here's the 1/2-inch clear tubing into the fill hole, and there it is through the. That's where the shifter cable went through originally. About 4 feet of this tubing originally. Obviously 4 feet's way too much, so I'm gonna cut it down right by the gauges there. So here's the final result, going through the floor, through the shift linkage hole in the floorboard. It's kind of a one-handed operation with pouring and unscrewing the caps with one hand, but it's totally worth it than pumping every pump, that other thing. Here's the fluid that I use for my transmission. It's an LT1 T56. It takes 3.8 quarts, so I just pour 4 in for a good measure. Okay, I already did the power steering flush. I'm using a Jones Racing power steering setup, pump and reservoir. Pretty much for the flush, all I do is use a turkey baster and then suck out all the old fluid and then add new fluid. And then once I put new fluid in over the intake line, which is right here, I go and start the car up, getting the operating temperature, and go lock to lock 4 or 5 times. And going lock to lock with the pump going at the engine idling gets all the fluid out of here that I couldn't suck up with the baster back into the reservoir. And then I repeat the process. And that's the fluid that I use, Redline power steering fluid, all synthetic. Works pretty good, nothing boils over, doesn't evaporate, doesn't get too hot, pretty good stuff. So I changed the rear end fluid, the trans fluid, oil change, and power steering flush. Now it's time to go for a simple road test and rip some gears. It's raining, what is this?